This is an open letter to Liz, an old friend of mine who I lost contact with about 5 years ago or so. Of all the people I've ever met in my life that have touched me in some way, romantically, spiritually, emotionally, Liz was what I would call a kindred spirit, and I miss her every day. She hurt me in some ways, and I hurt her in some. But our life together was something I'll never forget. I pined after her for a long time. I still have a piece of myself that is attached to her that I'll never get back, because I doubt I'll ever talk to her again. But I felt I needed to say this stuff because it's been a long time. I went back through some of the old letters that we sent back and forth, remembering the friendship that I had with her. Liz was the first girl in my life that I ever was truly stuck on. She was smart. She had a really morose sense of humor. She was artistic and a little bit crazy, and that's why I loved her so much. And for years, I begged her for a relationship, and she would always say no. I must have asked her a billion times to be involved with me in some manner, and she would always turn me down. But it didn't stop me from trying. It didn't stop me from wanting to be that special someone in her life. I wanted, more than anything, to be more important to her than anybody else. I wanted to be the one person that was above everybody else in her life. When I moved away from Philadelphia, because that's when I met, knew, and hung out with her, was back in Philly, and I came to California, we corresponded daily, every few days. An mail would go back and forth. And we had some falling out, because I just could never get past her. Several times in my life she told me it was a pipe dream and that I just needed to let it go because it was never going to happen, but I couldn't let it go. And because of that, she and I fought. She was living her life, and I just couldn't get away from how much I wanted her in my life in more than just a friendship kind of way. So there were periods of time where we didn't talk. Dark times. And then somehow, some way, she would send me a message or I would send her a message, and we'd talk again. And we'd reconnect. And we'd have the same falling out over and over and over again. I must have lost contact with her about 4 or 5 times. It just kept happening because I drove her away with my need, my desire, my want of her. And then she came out to California for a visit. And she stayed for about a week. And when she came here, and we were sitting in my apartment, just listening to a music mixtape that she had brought over, she told me that she loved me. And not in that, I love you like a brother kind of way, but she said that she loved me. And I told her I always loved her. The problem was, at the time I was involved with somebody. I was in a relationship with someone else that I cared about. And to be honest with you folks, when the circumstance presented itself, and Liz wanted to pursue a physical manifestation of that attachment that she and I had, I couldn't do it because I was involved, and I couldn't betray my girlfriend at the time. And if there was ever anything in my life that sometimes I regret more than anything else, it was missing that opportunity. I don't regret the path that I took. I don't regret not betraying my girlfriend at the time, because it would have eaten me up, but I do regret missing that opportunity. So for the few days that we were there, we spent time together, we were close. It was wonderful. Then she went back to Philadelphia. I went back to my life in California. And to her, I guess, whatever it was that she said to me, she didn't want to believe anymore, or it hurt her too much. I don't know, but she basically blocked it out of her memory. And I kept pushing it because she said that she loved me, and I kept going in that direction, and it drove her away from me again, because she told me I was deranged, and disappeared. And then a year or two later, she came back. I still felt the same way. I told her I didn't regret anything that I said to her. She knows what was said when she was here. And she stuck around for a little while, but then she just disappeared for the last time. Around 2003, I went back to Philadelphia to try and put some of my history behind me. Try to remember some of the shit that I had done back then and just let it go. Try to grow as a person. And I tried to contact her. I looked her up in the phone book, I found her, I left her a voicemail. And she had called me back the next day or that night and said that she'd love to hang out with me, that we could get together like old times. And for the rest of the week, she avoided me. She didn't answer her door, she didn't answer her phone. She just avoided me completely. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to her or to let go of the past, because she wouldn't let me. She wasn't there. And I don't seem to be able to do it on my own. But as I said, I'm sitting in my new apartment now, and I'm trying to find strength in the letters that she wrote, because when we were writing back and forth, she was my friend. She was my confidant, somebody that I could talk to about anything. And I went back into those letters, and I'm reading all the things that we said, the places that I was at then, the pain that I was going through then with the relationships and all that she witnessed, looking for her support, even if it is old, looking for what she had to say to give me strength. And it just reminded me about how much I miss her and how much she means to me. So Liz, I know you're not watching this. You probably don't even recognize this face. But I wanted you to know that you'll probably be a part of me for the rest of my life. And I'm never going to be able to get that back, and I don't want it back. I just want you to know that I care, and I always will. And no matter how much it hurts that you don't talk to me anymore, and we're not a part of each other's life, you have a part of me that will never, ever, ever go away. Just know that.